growing a small business is harder than ever because of the noise and the competition that's out there.
Episode of Rise, Grind, Repeat. In today's episode, we talked to Sean from Avontage. He's created a platform where business owners can barter with one another. I love it because that's how we got started. Let's hop right in. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to thank you for coming in. And so really to preface, would love to hear more of what you're doing because a lot of what we discussed on the phone is in line with what we're trying to do with the podcast and all that is highlight local businesses. I mean, there's, like we just mentioned, there's so much power in, I think, community and bringing people together. And so I'm all for that. And it seems like that's what you've done is created this platform. And really, we were so excited whenever like this whole conversation came out because it's, I mean, as we've been posting, we just seen Avontage come up a lot more. Just right. The people that have been in here, all of a sudden it's like, wait, you guys are following them, and then it's like just seeing you guys everywhere. And then it was just like, I mean, we just laugh. We're gonna find this new person, guaranteed Avontage is following them, and then sure enough, it would be. And then so like when this came up, it was just super exciting because yeah, just seeing you guys everywhere. So obviously, from a marketing perspective, you guys are doing good from our eyes, and so would love to just hear more of how you created this, why you created it, what the goals are, and just hear what you're kind of doing.
Sure. Well, first of all, that's great. The news that we're getting some people that are following us. We actually feel that traction in our community. So we have about 450 members, like I said, and so we see people coming in, gaining value. But just to give you kind of a background, is I'm a kind of a serial entrepreneur, computer science alumni from ASU. So I've been kind of techie, and when I built my first company, initially when we were bootstrapped and low on cash, as like a lot of the small businesses are, we started trading our services with other local businesses around us. So we traded for attorneys, building a website, SEO marketing, a lot of other services. And this was something that really helped us initially to kind of get off the ground and build a global platform. And so about a couple of years ago, being a kind of a entrepreneur that always got to kind of have something coming up next, I started looking back and say, whatever happened to the barter exchange industry. There's actually barter exchanges across U.S., something around 475, 500 of them, in every state. But they're very stuck in the 1990s technology. So it's a manual process. If you want to do a trade, you got to call a broker. Broker says, I'm going to call back. So I looked into the whole industry and just general trends, the way things are going, and it was completely broken. So that's kind of where the kind of light bulb turned on, and I went, started designing the platform. So in essence, today it's a locally service-owned businesses platform. So we focusing on local businesses, mostly in the service area.
Okay.
And it's for them to connect, collaborate, and basically promote each other in the community. And they do that using trading their exchanges. So the bartering and trading is really just a mechanism, but the value is the connection you make with other business owners and that whole community, that platform that we're building.
Yeah, no, I mean that's awesome, and it's I mean, as I mentioned, that's kind of how we got started. Whether it's we'll do it for free, quote unquote free, right. Just because it's like, it's tough to sell someone on 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever the project size is, if you don't have anything to show them. And so, in essence, you need something, you need some creative, you need whatever. We need, proof of concept and showing what we can do. And so, even if you don't have the money, just the whole concept of working for free fascinates me. And so many people are like, I won't do that because I know my time is valuable. And it's like, well, if you know it's valuable, why wouldn't you do it for free so that you can get that first sale 10 times quicker? And like, if you truly value your time, you would see the value in trading basically your time for whatever it is that you're doing.
Right, exactly. And that's one of the whole new concepts or new education that we're concepts that we're trying to educate our members is, there's a whole concept of freemium. And that these days you provide something free and then you ultimately turn them into premium paid customers. So we're kind of inventing or introducing Trademium, which instead of giving your services or introductory offers for free, you use them, you trade them, and then you build such a satisfied, happy client or customer that they'll turn into a regular, cash paying customer. So it's kind of a new way of kind of a lead gen and introducing new customers that you wouldn't otherwise have. And the whole concept of trading and bartering is really to fill up your slow times. So you still want to keep your cash business and ongoing clients, but it's those, average business has 25% underutilized capacity.
Is that what it is?
Right. So that means unbooked hours, and empty seats, slow days, anything you name it, hotels, doing nothing. And so it's fill that 25%, bringing value out of it. That's what we're after to unlock that potential value.
That's so cool. And I mean, you mentioned that this has been around for less than a year, right?
Yeah, last October.
Wow. So how have you gotten to 400 members like that? That's huge. Congratulations to you on that. Like, that's huge.
Thank you. It's you got to be a little bit maniacal when you're laser focused on something. But we started early before we even built the platform. We started talking to customers and members and local business owners, not only to learn from them what to build that works well, but also build those relationships. So when we launched, we had about 150 on our waiting list.
Okay.
Right. And and there was that enthusiasm that the day we launched, they started kind of coming in. And the rest has been just social media and our email marketing campaign. We have not really had a paid marketing campaign yet. Mm-hmm. We're working on it. But just word of mouth, and the same way, Phoenix Metro is still a small community when it comes to business, so people know of each other. So just a regular, we average about 250 returning users visiting us 5 times per month, and they spend good minutes on our site. So there's traction. They're getting value. They're collaborating. They're exchanging trading services.
Cool.
Sometimes they're meeting offline. So, and I love that. I love the community aspect of our platform.
That's the cool part, is that you're building up a community. I mean, it's right now Phoenix. It's funny because I came from Yuma. I don't know if you know where that is. It's a super small town. Super small town. So coming here, it seems huge. But then as we've started doing more podcast and just getting out there and just doing more business and trying to network, it is amazing just how small the world is, or how small the community is. Absolutely. And to connect that and then show people how small it is and how you can leverage. I mean, there's so much value between so many people here. I mean, it's cool that you're connecting them. What are your plans, or how are you guys making money from it?
Right. So we have a big vision. Our vision is to become, nationwide and global. So to scale, you got to have a lot of value. You got to produce value for your members. So at the moment, we're keeping everything free. So it's 100% completely free. Once we start scaling and we'll figure out that we're building value for our members, where people are willing to pay for it, it's something that kind of it's kind of going viral kind of thing. We will have some sort of a fee, most likely a transaction fee, because on our platform, just to explain how it works is, so members come in, they create a free profile, list their business, and then they create an offer. It's kind of a curated offer with a dollar value, with a description, a title, and a beautiful image. One of the things about our platform is visually is very pleasing. Nice. So we've did that deliberately. So when you sell those offers, you'll earn Avontage bucks. and that's the private currency. And then when you spend those, then you can turn around and spend it with other members. So you're not stuck with doing one-to-one trades. So if I want to do, let's say I'm a business and I want to do a podcast, let's say here, I'll come and buy whatever your podcast session package is, and I'll pay you for the Avontage box. Then you can turn around and use that Avontage box to either go get dental work at a dentist, or get a painter to paint your office, that kind of a, so that's, we call that a transaction. So we'll have a transaction fee once we turn into cool. revenue, right? But it'll always be free platform as far as and
Avontage. I mean, I'm sure, are you looking at how people are using it, engaging and all that, and kind of figuring out how you can define those revenue models from within how people are actually using the platform? Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're kind of monitoring it. We have whole data science and kind of a machine learning built into the platform, trying to see where the trends are. What are the most popular offers? Which ones are the more symbiotic relationships between, the types of services. So our platform is pretty, as far as our types of businesses, we have about 25 categories. So anything from a dentist, chiropractor, to restaurants, health and beauty, fitness, videographers, photographers, marketing. Marketing is actually our number one category.
Really?
Yeah, so that's the most popular. Literally, most of our transaction, one side of the party has always been marketing or an influencer. We also have a lot of micro influencers on our platform.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they've because every business needs marketing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if they can pay that with their services, then it makes it easier for them. And then if the marketing agency is connected with the local business owners, now you build a relationship that they'll turn into a long-term customer.
Yeah, give you referrals and everything like that.
Right, exactly. And they eventually they'll turn into a cash customer. I experienced that personally. So you always start out with a few trades, you build that trust, you see the value. Next time you need that service, you're not going to go hire somebody else and pay cash. You say, I know Dustin. This is where I'm going for my
Because it takes
podcast.
time to vet the next person.
Relationships, exactly.
It's everything. That's so awesome. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty big into data. That's the part I love. Do you have anything in the plans to basically look at seeing how you're impacting companies' bottom line by helping them not be that 25% unproductive, like maybe they get to 10%, but are you doing anything to show, I mean, at the end of the day, businesses just want that bottom line, want the revenue. So if you can show that, hey, by doing this, we've helped improve bottom line and just make you more efficient, is that part of the game plan?
That's a great question. Yeah, absolutely. Once we have enough data at scale, we're collecting the data, but once we have it, then we can report various ways and kind of say, here's what you did last month, here's how much downtime you had. So the more data we have, the more transactions. That's definitely in the game plan. It's unlocking those. These days, platforms like Airbnb and Uber and Lyft, basically they took empty rooms and empty cars and they turned in the value for the owners. So we're kind of taking that, excess capacity, and we think of ourselves not necessarily a sharing economy, but what we coin a trading economy. So that's what we're building, kind of in a bigger scale.
And I think it's huge because it's like, I mean, the past, 50 years, it's just been build. Right. I mean, how much is out there that is just a waste that's not used. Exactly.
I mean, look at the statistics on owning a vehicle. Something around, I think 90% of the time your vehicle is sitting there parked empty, and that's what Uber did, kind of try to fill those, capitalize on those. But it's, and the other thing is, which I love, being here with you, and thank you for inviting me. The whole local businesses today, it's even though it's kind of, obviously the economy is good and strong, but growing a small business is harder than ever because of the noise and the competition that's out there. So to have people like you that's providing a voice and a platform for local businesses, and basically it's something that the big corporations had access to this, just not too long ago. Now a small business owner like myself can be here and talking to, many local business owners. It's a great thing you're doing. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Like we're only 9 months old or so. And so it's like, we're brand new, still trying to figure it out. But I mean, my history is I've worked at advertising agencies, and it's crazy the platforms that we have and how much data, and you can target the right person, but it's always, we only have one piece of creative, or one, it's always the content side that it's like the same ad's been running for three months or whatever it is. And so when we're in that little office, it was just like, as we got these going, it's crazy the conversations that started, and just it helped us network and get out there in a different way. And it's like, hey, what if other businesses did this? And so that's what made us come over here. And then once we're in here, it's like, look at all this room that we have that we're not using. So production takes a lot of time, and I mean it is expensive for the most part for a brand new business. And so what we're really trying to do is maximize that unused space and create these little things to where it's basically a turnkey solution where maybe someone come in for, basically create a subscription model where maybe this amount you get access to these things, for this much you can do that. But I think
that is brilliant. I love the subscription model. You know, yeah, because it makes it affordable, and it's good for the business because now you have a fixed, predictable income coming in. Now you can focus on the customers. You're not out there hustling. You know, as you bring in, and then for a business owner, it's some sort of a monthly fee, but you have access to it, and I think that's the future of a lot of things. Subscription model.
I think so too, and what we're trying to do is take us out of it, because even basically we're trying to create a way that if you can't afford us, you can still come in.
Oh, like almost like not a maker space, but kind of do it yourself.
Yeah, where there'll be you bring in your memory card, whatever, and then you can get everything going. You can do all the editing, and then we'll just create different packages where it's, where do you need the help? Maybe you can need help with the editing, and it takes you 10 hours. We can do it in an hour. So it's trying to figure out where the pain points are, and not us sitting in here selling it. It's just, as you kind of run through it, we'll be here kind of as a teacher.
To write the script, or here's my script, what do you think about it?
Exactly.
I could use that today.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We're working hard trying to get it going.
Yeah, that's I love that. That's because especially small business owners, a lot of them are hands-on. So they kind of like to be, especially the creative side of it. They don't want to be have the say in it. Mm-hmm. And you can do a video using Fiverr, but it's frustrating, and it never comes out what you want, and
you pay for.
But right, exactly. But this is more of a custom version of it. So I love the vision. This is awesome.
Trying to. It's I love the small business. My dad was a small business owner, but it's when you're reaching small business, there's not as much money as in if you're reaching billion-dollar corporation. So it's trying to figure out how to itch that passion for that small business, but not be stuck where it's we have to have hundreds of clients to just keep to keep the lights on type of thing. So trying to create a way to where it's affordable to small business, we can help them, and that's part of the reason why all this podcast is here as well, is maybe like as we've been talking just on numbers, and there are clips already that we're going to cut up, but the whole premise is maybe you can't afford our services, but through the podcast, if you keep listening and maybe execute on some of the things that come out, you get to a point to where you grow and you're too busy, hoping that you come here. And so it's really trying to figure out how to grow the small business without trying to impact that their output on dollars.
Right. No, I like it. So you kind of you would do anything from do it yourself all the way to here's my project. It just kind of do it. Yeah. No, I love it. That's I think podcasts. Obviously, the whole with what was the Gimlet that just sold for a couple $1 billion.
Is that the one with the
Alex?
Yeah,
he started it. So he was like one of the first ones that make it massive. But podcast has been so huge. I listen to, I would say probably about 2 hours of podcast a day.
Do you?
I don't watch any TV. So I don't remember the last time I watched television. So for me, it's either a podcast or sometimes YouTube, if I need to learn something,
What podcast do you listen to?
They're mostly in the technical space. So, This Week in Startup with Calacanis, he always talks about it's out of San Francisco. The one with on NPR, what's that one called? This Is How We Made It.
Yeah.
So I love to hear stories about other entrepreneurs and their experiences.
Yeah.
So I have a whole list. I can probably, while we're talking, I can tell you. But there's some good ones I have.
What are your thoughts on businesses starting a podcast? And the only reason why I ask is, from an SEO perspective, that's what got the whole idea started, is from an SEO perspective. I mean, you can give awesome little 2-minute clips on how-tos that just throw it on a page and then, throw some content around it. But I mean, it's a quick way to dominate the SEO perspective. But what I always get is, what would I talk about? No one's listening to them. So what are your thoughts on just, I mean, most people think of it as personal entertainment or whatever it may be, but...
I think, as a consumer of it, I always look for value. You want to listen, and you can learn most from other people's experiences. Mm-hmm. So when you listen to, and I listen to, anything that's, national and, nation, global, or, some of the local ones too. But I listen because I want to learn, what the other person did or how do you do this thing. So it's mostly value. Entertainment, I don't have too much time for entertainment these days. So even I've tried to mix my entertainment and education in one session. So golf, like I told you, that was my passion, and I haven't had a chance to play that for a while. Yeah, I'm excited to go to play around this afternoon.
Yeah, it's cool because it seems like, just even with that networking thing, it just seems like, just the word community just seems to continue to come up. And so is there anything outside of just connecting? Are you going to try and create in-person like meetups or events, or are you going to do anything outside of the digital platform to try and create those in-person connections?
And that's actually a critical piece of our strategy and we've already been requested by our members, and we're planning on it. But yeah, definitely we're thinking either monthly or quarterly meetups, and somewhere where members can kind of meet and get to know each other. Yeah, and then we get some feedback. So it will be definitely nice. It's just putting the logistics together. But probably we'll start it this summer sometimes, and nice. We'll have some sort. But that's definitely, one of the things that social media and internet in general has done a great job in last 10 or 15 years or 20 years is bringing the world closer. So now you connect with somebody across the oceans and as if they were, across town. But it really hasn't done a great job of connecting the local, in your immediate neighborhood kind of people and build that platform. One example is Nextdoor is one platform where, for neighborhoods app.
Isn't that where you can rate like your neighbors? Or
well, it's basically it's a neighborhood app that you talk to each other. It's a social platform.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really a rating. It's about, hey, today the garbage guy was late, or there was a suspicious person in the neighborhood. That we see a lot of the Ring videos, mm-hmm. That shows. So it's just a neighborhood activity, but you can only watch connect with your immediate neighborhood.
That's cool.
And they've kind of mapped out the neighborhood, and there's a neighborhood ambassador or leader that kind of puts the map around. So they've done a good job of creating that platform, but nobody else really has created that localized platform where, even though you're still connected to the world, but you have your own local community that you can connect with. And that's really our vision, to have a kind of a hybrid local business owner platform where they connect. And our platform is not just a trading platform. It's also, when you post your offers, it's available to the public too.
That's a really nice question.
Right. So, and that was when we were building it. That's one of the benefits of talking to your customers when you're building. That was the number one request is, hey, I'm putting my offer up. I'm going to be trading with other members. Can I just sell it if somebody wanted to pay with a credit card? And we thought about it twice and said, sure, why not? So now you can actually put in a credit card number and pay for that in cash. So it's kind of a hybrid trade as well as just a marketing platform to sell your offers.
How much does the platform, there's two things, how much does the platform look like now compared to what you envisioned at first? Because it sounds like you do a really good job at hearing what your audience wants and adjusting based off of really the needs of who's going to be consuming your app. So, has it been exactly in line with what you first envisioned, what you blueprinted, or has it kind of gone?
Very good question. Talking to customers and working on the whole idea and try to crystallize the vision, that was big part of it was done up front. So the product itself, when we launched, since until today, really hasn't. There's some features and some things that have improved, but the whole general idea is the same. So it hasn't really changed much because we did a lot of the homework up front, and we talked to them and we actually showed them, mock-ups, and so we did a lot of that before writing code and wasting
nice. Planning ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crucial.
We use the whole lean startup methodology that talks about how to build a company very leanly, and there's 3 cycles of build, measure, learn, and we've done that a lot.
What is that?
Oh, lean startup it was something that was developed by Eric Ries out of Silicon Valley, and historically, when you build a software platform or anything, you spend a lot of time, planning it, designing it, building all the features, everything you can imagine, and then you spend a lot of time building it, and then you launch, and then you put it in front of the customers, right?
Yep.
That's how it was done for years. And he came in and he said, you know what? Let's make those in smaller cycles. So you talk to customers, you put a MVP, like a minimal viable product, minimum thing that you can build to put it in front of a customer. Yeah, even if you got to be Paul Graham, which is the founder of Y Combinator, it's an incubator out of San Francisco. He says, if you're not embarrassed of your first MVP that you put out, that means you released it too late. So just throw it out there and see what people say, learn from it, and then build it again, improve it, and then learn, measure, learn. So it's a loop cycle. Yeah, and it just moves quicker, and you don't build all those unnecessary features that you thought they're going to use, and then you have to kind of throw away at the end of the day. So it's very efficient.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it, because even in the creative process, it's still similar, where it's like you do all this and it's like, oh wait, that's way off direction and stuff like that. And kind of what you're speaking on the creative side, it's funny because I see so many times where it's like you try and think through perfection, right, but there's a huge cost of not getting to market. And what are your thoughts on that, on people that might launch 2-3 months later because it's like, this color doesn't look right, this whatever, as opposed to just throw it out there, like you're going to get the feedback.
Absolutely. I mean, these days it's, the motto they have is at Facebook is move quick and break fast. Mm-hmm. So it basically means get the product built, ship it, throw it out there, and it's okay if it breaks, fix it quick and just put it in kind of a iterative cycles. So programming and development is a very creative process as well. So it's very similar to doing a video or a creative piece. So it's the sooner you put it out there, the more feedback you're gonna get, and there's nothing like the customer's feedback. You can show it to your mom and your kids and your friend, and they always say, "Oh, this is wonderful." But it's the value comes from the end user. Mm-hmm. What do they think of it? Because that's who you're building it for. Yeah. So just that whole making that short cycles, but in sprints is the key to work with.
No, it's just fascinating whenever it's like we're into week 2 of revision. It's like, man, you could have launched, and then we could have even come out with a whole nother, whatever it was, website, video, picture, whatever it is. But it's like, it's interesting how people just spend their time and money. You want to look back, your work from 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and say, wow, I did this. You want to see that improvement. Yeah. So the more faster the quicker you move, the more improvements you'll see also. But I believe in being lean. This is my first one that I built. Lean wasn't in our vocabulary. It was just build big and go big nationwide. But this one, I kind of, used it a lot of the lessons were learned, and just being scrappy these days. Scrappy. That's a great word. Just be scrappy. Figure out how you can.
Absolutely. It's scrappy, I think, makes you do things better. Mm-hmm.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Exactly. Where if you had a lot of money, you get lazy. You build things that are not necessary and just don't take care of the things that are broken.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Yeah. No, I love what you're doing, because you mentioned digital. It seems like it has connected the world together more, but you also hear it quite often that digital has also disconnected that locality part. Right. And I think Facebook or all the social platforms now, the worldwide ones, have done a good job that's like version 1. And I think we're about to see a lot of other versions very similar to like what you're doing, where we're creating micro platforms basically like Nextdoor, like what you're doing, where it's very community focused rather than trying to reach everyone in the world. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I think that's the next trend or next need that you need to have. You're right. I mean, even within a family, you know, that this thing has really taken a lot of the social family time, because, you know, everybody's got one of these and they come home and they got to check their emails and social feeds and all that. So, and take that to the next level in the local community. So it has that downside, but there's ways to
Yeah, everything has its pros and cons. It's all about how you use the tool.
Right, exactly.
So what is the process to get signed up on? And do you guys have a phone app, or is it all web based? Right.
So we're completely web based, but it's mobile responsive, so it's very friendly. But we're actually in the middle of developing our mobile app, and hopefully within the next six or 7 weeks we should have that released.
Nice. So how? Because I'm gonna sign up right after this. I mean, what are the steps to sign up?
You know, our sign up is probably a 5-minute process. Basically, you can either log in with your Facebook login, or just create your basic information, name, email address, and password, and you're in the system. But so when you're in the system, you can see other members' offers, but no one can see you yet. The only way you're visible is when you have an offer posted.
Gotcha.
Right. So then the next step is to post your offers, and you can post as many offers as you like. But during our launch, we're giving you 200 Avontage bucks as a bonus when you put your first 2 offers. So for the first offer, you get 100 Avontage bucks. For the second bucks, you get another 100 Avontage bucks. And then that gives you a seed money to start buying other services and reinvesting, right? But it's basically it's just posting. You got to kind of come up with your craft your first offer. Think about what you want it to be to attract clients and that kind of clients that you're looking for. Put a value, and the value could be anywhere from $25. We have all the way to $7,500. So we have just a wide range. And you put a description of what it is you're providing, and any restrictions or redeem instructions. And then we also provided a cap. You can provide a cap or a limit on the number of trades you want to do per month. So if you put an offer, you can say, I only want to do 1 of these per month on trade, but I want to sell as many as possible. Or I want to do 5 of these or 10 of these. We have, again, our number is from 1 is the minimum to 100. And we have people that put 100 on, but you don't want to lose your cash customers.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You post it, and the minute you post it, you're live. And now other members can see your offer, and with a push of a button, they'll buy it, pay with the Avontage bucks. And then you get a notification that this person is interested. You communicate with each other, and just coordinate, redeem the offer, and that's when you get your Avontage bucks.
That's cool. So does all communication happen within the platform? Like, it's not like we buy and then all of a sudden go out to the inbox, you know what I mean?
Right. No, everything is, we have a full messaging platform. So members came in, talk to each other before any purchase. So we have DM or private messaging.
That's cool.
Yeah, we have, and then we have the likes and the follows and etc. So if you like some service that you don't need it today, you kind of click it, save it for future, and then you can come back and
that's cool. Yeah. Smart idea. Love it. So with us, I mean, we do the podcast video. There's quite a few different individual things we do. Or could we go in there and basically create individual services and then packages? Like, is there a limit on the amount of offers that you can have?
No, there isn't. Actually, we have several of our members. They have, one business can put as many offers as you want. There's no limit there. But they also have a couple or 3 businesses. So you create 2 or 3 different profiles. That way you can create different offers for each. So I have for example, in Sedona, we have a wine tour company that just signed up, and he has 10 or 15 different wine tour packages, but he also does hiking tours and chocolate tours and beer tours. So different side of his company. So for that, he created a separate profile.
Nice.
And then the benefit is you get 200 Avontage bucks for each of the companies you set up.
Nice. That's cool.
So there's a little loophole. We don't want to exploit that too much. But that's where
we can edit that part out of maybe.
No, that's okay. We want people to use our platform. Our goal is just get on there. It's free, so our goal is to provide value.
Yeah.
So just get on there, collaborate, grow your business. And when that happens, the more the merrier for you.
Yeah. Well, Han, I'm sure you're pushing that hard because, like you said, the more data, the more for every minute that someone spends in there, the more data you're getting, which then can help you either make it better, come up with data to sell it better, whatever. You can basically optimize your business.
Sure.
And so,
yeah, that's that. To try to make the platform smart. Our long-term vision, Dustin, is actually to have when we come out with our mobile app, and probably the version 2 will be a kind of a push. We call that a on-demand, nearby push of a button feature, where you say, I have Thursday afternoon, my studio's empty, I want to fill it up with anyone. You put an offer, and then we match you with someone that needs that, and boom, instantly, fill that spot for you. Or vice versa. I need my teeth done, this, next Wednesday I'm open, and here's, my request, and we match you with a dentist that has open in that time slot. So that's the data is comes in handy when we have that. Yeah. So make it more of a push up.
That's what's
exactly.
Going to get people to use it.
That's the key. People are too distracted, too busy, too many things going on. You got to make it easy. Push up a button.
Yeah.
That's
funny because I think that's my brother-in-law now, but we're talking about it, and it's like we're doing a lot of A/B testing and just a lot of landing page testing. But it's funny because he's like, you pretty much have to tell someone exactly what to do because there's so much just interference. And so it's like, for every one less button click, for every one less word you have to use for them to get what you're trying to say, it's
that's what we learn.
If there's one thing everyone wants back, like if there's one thing most humans have in common, it's more time in their day. And that's, I love everything you're doing with this platform. It's connecting people quicker. It's helping people find what they need quicker. Like it's amazing. I can't wait to watch the growth of it. When are your plans for the app or for the next step?
The next step is, so we're basically trying to grow the community. Our goal is to have at least around 2,000 offers on our platform in Arizona. And hopefully this summer we're going to do a big push, because we realize that's a slow time for the Arizona businesses. So we get more of their attention, and they have more of that slow time and empty seats. So if we can grow that to a couple thousand, have our mobile app out, and start, getting that liquidity and that traction going, then, hopefully by the end of this year or next year, we're going to start launching other cities.
Nice.
But it's our vision is to build a trading economy, a cashless economy that helps the startup all the way to the business that's trying to grow but limited on budget, to use their services to help pay for the growth. So that's the kind of, in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, that's huge, because I'm sure at the higher level, the bigger corporation level settings, I'm sure there's more inefficiency going on just because you got more humans, and it's just, you need more people because there's more work, but there are going to be those lulls where it's, okay, well, now it'd be nice to get, some more efficiency out of our employees and stuff like that. Like you're literally from startup to corporation finding value across the board.
Absolutely. Actually, something around, I think 65% of the companies on NASDAQ do bartering. But these are like massive barter. Oh, yeah. I mean, the story goes, the way Pepsi got into Russia was they traded Pepsi with vodka. That it was a trade deal that they did. Yeah, I mean, it's really done at a massive, countries do that. So it's and now we're trying to make it easy and simple to small business. And when we were talking to our members, we realized that literally every small business owner already does trading with the people around them in a offline way. I know how I'll do this for you, you do this for me. So it's done very informally, very, in that circle of trust. So to bring that platform to make it easier and bring a currency, so you're not stuck with one-to-one trades. You can do trade today, keep that currency. Next month you need something else, use it somewhere else. That's kind of facilitating.
That's so cool. So let's say we get set up. I mean, I'm sure it's just, what's your website? What's a little bit about you? Stuff like that. Is that kind of what it is, or what does the company profile look like today?
Sure. So our website is www.avontage.com, avontage.com, and it's a local trading platform for local service businesses to help grow their business without spending any money. That's right.
If I were to join, I mean, I get a little bio about us, probably the services. What all information can a company include about them?
Oh, about the members themselves.
Yeah.
I see. So it's very basic right now. So it's the name of the founder or the contact person, email address, phone number, and a little paragraph of about what the services, you kind of about us page. And there's logos. You can upload your logo. And and then address. So if you have a physical address like such as you put in the address. If you're more of a freelancer or don't have a necessarily physical address, you just put in Phoenix or Scottsdale, whatever city you are in or you serve, and that's it. And it's geolocated, so when people can pull up the map and they'll see who's around them and whose service they want to use. But that's it as far as the profile itself.
Love it. I mean, I don't know what your plans are to expand that, but I mean, I would love to see if there's any opportunity in kind of working together. And if you were able to introduce it into the app or whatever, is maybe give someone a 15-minute time chunk and then come in here and give a 1-minute pitch on who they are. And basically you can maybe add that. And that, I mean, absolutely. I would love to offer that. Like I said, it's if you can see a face to a business, you're going to increase that chance
I would love that. And our members would love that too. Definitely. We can talk about that and get that.
There's so much opportunity.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's, you bring value and exposure to members, money follows. That's the way I look at it.
That's exactly. Do you listen? Oh, not up here. We changed it. Gary Vee.
Oh yeah. I watch him. I've read his stuff. Yeah, he's a motivator.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like everything you're doing. It's just. I mean, it's all about that scrappiness. It seems like just the maximizing every second, and that's everything that you're doing. It just seems to back into a lot of what he talks about, and so
right, exactly. It's cool. It works. We got to do it these days, and it's also the experience of being a serial entrepreneur and having my failures in the past and all that. It has definitely, now I kind of say, oh yeah, that didn't work, or that wasn't the best way of spending your resources. And time is the most precious commodity. So spending time on things that are not necessarily or prioritizing what's more important. That's the key.
How do you go about that? Because I mean, this is all new to me, and we're figuring it out. I mean, it's funny you mentioned you look back at your growth and stuff like that, and it's like, I mean, I did all the advertise, like the paid media type of stuff and on the creative, and it took a lot of time, money to learn our process, how to charge it correctly, and everything like that. And it's I mean, you do learn, but is there anything? I mean, you're doing this business quite a bit. Is there anything that you could just recommend that maybe try focusing on this, or how to maybe prioritize a day? But I guess, is there one piece of information that you can give small businesses?
Sure. The one, I guess that for me, the golden rule to have a successful business that you're also passionate about is to find that niche, that very specific point or spot, the pain point you're trying to solve, and your customers you're trying to help. Don't try to go with the mass and everybody, because it not only thins you out and all your resources are spread, but also you're not going to be able to make everyone happy. But find for your target audience and just be maniacally focused on making them happy and providing them value and service, and that'll laser focus your resources, your time, your effort, your money, everything on them. So I think being, Greg Head is a software guy in town that, he helps a lot of the companies grow from 10 million to 100 million. But the one thing he says is you got to laser focus your effort. Find the one thing that you do really, really, really good. And he uses the example of like In-N-Out Burger. They only sell burgers. That's it, nothing else. Mm-hmm. But they do it, great job, and there's always a line there. And there's many, many other examples like that. So find your In-N-Out Burger sweet spot, and just, serve those clients to the best.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, us as a marketing agency, is there any questions that it sounds like you have a pretty good background in marketing, but is there anything that we could help with at all? Like, I love what you're doing. I want to see if there's anything that we could bring of value and
Absolutely. I was excited to come here because you and I spoke on the phone, and I've seen your stuff online. and I can totally see your platform and your podcast and everything you do help our members and get them excited. So I would love to figure out a way how we can work together, kind of, bring you more exposure and us bring value to our members. I love the team here. You guys are,
appreciate it.
That's the scrappy team that I, takes to make the successful startup. So yeah, there's definitely, we can talk about, how we can kind of move forward. And I got some ideas. Like I said, we do the weekly member spotlight blog that we spotlight one of our members every week. So I can totally see your have them spotlighted on a podcast as well, now be it weekly or monthly or quarterly, whatever we can do. But
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a kind of makes you the kind of a in-town destination where businesses want to come and talk about their business, their experiences.
Yeah.
So
It's going all about that trading, all about that exposure, and if we could be that outlet where people can have a voice, it'll help us quite a bit.
Collaboration. That's the
exactly.
term that we've been kind of used that a lot, but that it's collaboration makes you one thing that I always say is, as small business owners, we're small, but we have bigger impact because there's 30 million small business owners and about 70 million freelancers. So there's 100 million of us versus the giant corporations and the Targets and the Amazons and all the other corporations. So we have, our advantage is our numbers. That's why it's called Avontage. It's a local business advantage, and that is truly the one thing we have on our side is our sheer power of our numbers, the 100 million. So that's where we can kind of build around.
I agree. What are your thoughts on just big business in general? I mean, you see more and more of the businesses that you'd say would never fail end up filing bankruptcy, Fujifilm, all that stuff. How do you see just business in general? Do you think small business can continue to grow with the downward trend of big, or?
I think I agree with you. I really see the whole local first and buy local movement taking place, and especially when it comes to service businesses. Big corporations, the companies, they can productize, physical goods and tangible products. They can SKUfy it, and with a push of a button, you can get it. But when it comes to that service business, where it's get this interaction and personalized touch, we have the advantage again because they can't do that. But it's, Amazon makes all of our lives easier. So, I can be totally, kind of a hypocrite, a user, and also bash them. But there's ways that you can find that balance that still the local business owner and the small business owner is not at total disadvantage.
Yeah.
And building that kind of a platform where they have the same voice and the same platform and same capabilities is the key, I think. And they're the backbone of our economy. Small business, 2/3 of the employment in this country is small business.
I thought it was closer to like 40, but man.
Right. No, it's 2/3. Either they work for a small business or they own a small business.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's huge numbers. Service economy is in trillions. I think $16 trillion is our economy is in services. It's crazy when you look at the numbers. It's mind-boggling. So there's a lot of room for making it easier, digitizing it, automating it, bringing it closer.
Yeah. I'm working in, my background is digital and all that stuff. Do you think the adoption rate of just technology, automating process, software, all that, do you think the adoption rate for small business is slower than it should be?
It is, and part of it is because small business owners they're busy running their day-to-day operation, running their business. So it's hard to take the time and the capital to invest in new technology.
Yeah.
And also there's so much variation. Every business has their way of, and when it comes to service businesses, there's so many nuances that it's hard to kind of build one product or one thing to fix it all. And that's what we're after. We're trying to find that sweet spot where it makes the day-to-day job of the business owner easier, simpler. So our tool is going to be more of a marketing platform. not only you trade, but you also market your business with a push a button. You have your services, and it's out there, available for customers to buy it. So, yeah, but it's coming. I think marketplaces are going to be a big push in the future for technology.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a cost thing. More of a time.
Yeah, obviously it's time and focus. I mean, we experience it trying to get our business owners to engage and interact. It's they're busy.
Yeah, because I'm in Google ads, Facebook ads, the platform's quite a bit. So it's like, I don't know, I like finding new platforms, new apps, new whatever that can help just make your day more efficient. And so it's, I don't know, I like getting in, but it's, and then figuring it out. But as I shop for different things on how we can collaborate as a team better, use technology to make our day-to-day more efficient, it seems like, man, everything is so cheap for the value it brings.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
you're 100% right.
So then is it more of just the learning it, taking the time?
Yeah, as far as the tools, and that's one of the things that we've learned is during this company, that this launch of this startup, there's so many tools out there, either free or like next to nothing, that you can build. We use Trello for our project management team collaboration. That I actually recommend that. It's very easy, and it's completely free unless you scale, and there's always a freemium and premium. Yeah. So a lot of the tools we use is either free or it's very minimal cost, where even 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you had to hire or buy a software package that's $5,000 to do the creative part. I agree.
Do you stay pretty up to date on the latest software technology? Or are you pretty?
We use tools for our for reuse. Yeah, I'll stay up to date to those. So I use any tool that I can get to make our back-end process more efficient. Yeah. And so we use HubSpot for our CRM.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's, and they have a free version. So, a plug for them.
Yeah. No, I asked because for project management, we use something called ClickUp. It's a brand. It's a startup. But they're integrating into like apps like 2 new apps a week or something like that. And so the idea came up. It's like, well, if they're doing that, this would be a great way for us to find new apps. But then it's like, there might be an opportunity for like another podcast segment, whatever it is, to literally just review it. What is it? And so, I mean.
Right. Tools for, actually, I think this would be a lot of value for your audience too, because we actually created a category called free tools, and that's to help our members. Hey, use this free. Like, the chatting, Pure Chat is a chatting software in town. And also Artibot, they built this kind of a bot that answers your questions. If you're a hair salon, and you're busy doing a haircut, answers, customer comes to your site, answers questions, books the appointment, takes payment with a credit card, does amazing stuff, all for free. Yeah. So it's the free tool section that we've added is just designed to kind of give our members some.
Are you guys continually building on that, or is it kind of, we scoped it out, this is what it is, maybe we'll touch on it? Like, is it a continuous every month you're adding, or is it like?
Yeah, we're constantly iterating and learning and adding, and we're bringing nonprofits on our platform, and there's a specific reason for that, because it's at the end of the year, if our members have accumulated, let's say, 10,000 Avontage bucks, and they haven't spent it all, or they only spent 5,000 of it, but they want to take that tax deduction, they can donate their 5,000 Avontage bucks to the nonprofit, take that tax deduction, and then the nonprofit turns around and spends it back in the community. So it kind of is a beautiful.
And you've thought this all the way through.
Yeah.
So dollar for dollar, that's.
Dollar for dollar, yeah. Trade per IRS, trade dollars are treated as cash. So whatever you spend and earn is as if you spend.
You are sitting cash. On. This is wow! I cannot wait to watch the growth. It's so huge. I mean, it's every little aspect of it. It's you've thought through.
A lot of thought into it. Yeah.
That is cool. Now, I mean, where I was going with the free apps, it'd be cool. Maybe, I mean, we've already been talking about it, doing a podcast segment just on apps. Just this is what it's for. This is blah blah blah. This is how you can use it. Kind of cut down on that learning time on what, like, first of all, what's out there for my business, and then it could help us get exposure. But I mean, we've been on the fence about it. If you'd be up for it, I mean, we could do them, and then maybe you can include them on the site. I mean, it's.
I'm already interested about that. What did you say?
ClickUp.
What is that? What is it?
So it's a brand new project management tool. It is awesome. Like working at different marketing agencies the last 7-8 years. I mean, I've used Trello, Basecamp, Asana. Quite a few. And this has been the first one where it's just like it does everything. It's awesome. They're about to come out with their 2.0 version. So 1.0, they didn't even do any marketing pushes. It's just been literally it was a project management tool that you could just make tasks. Then they did a product roadmap, and then the community votes on what they want, and then they come out with the technology based off of what people want. And it's they've been doing a huge push on coming out with features. And then I guess the CEO just said that now that we're at a point to where, I mean, our features just are better than everyone else. Now we're going to really try and push and just get out there. And so
I love seeing other startups grow. So
yeah. And it's, I like it a lot because there's always just one or two things missing from most of the project management tools, whether it's either time tracking or dependencies. Like once this gets done, then notify this person. There's always the nuances or whatever, but it just seems they do have a couple areas that they can improve on, but it's already in the roadmap and stuff like that. But it's,
awesome. Where are they out of?
California, I believe. Yeah. Silicon Valley, I think.
Awesome.
But yeah, the team is super young too. I think the CMO or something like that. I mean, he looks 20, 21.
Yeah, we're part of ASU Venture Devils program, and it's they do twice a year. They do investor style pitches, so we go in front of like a Shark Tank style. So in that cohort in the community, there's a lot of the young, the ASU. They take 80% ASU students.
Really?
So, and I love it to see these young people being passionate about building their, somebody's building a software product, somebody's building some sort of a fitness app. Everybody's busy building things. So I just get great energy.
That's cool.
I love to be involved in that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap it up, I mean, this has been great. I have loved it. I love what you're doing, what you've built. I mean, it's going to grow. It's going to explode. I mean, I cannot wait. And like I said, I would love to connect after this and see if there's anything that we can do to help at all. Whatever makes sense on your timeline and project timeline and everything like that, but would love to figure it out, how we can help at all. But yeah, I'd love for you to let people know who you are, where they can find you and everything like that.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for the opportunity. This is, and I love it that you're in the same space supporting local business owners. So anything we can do to collaborate, I'm all in. Again, I'm Sean Sarram. I'm the founder of Avontage, and our website is www.avontage.com, avontage.com. And the sign up is free. We give you 200 Avontage bucks sign up bonus when you sign up, and I'd love for you to sign up actually and join our community.
Right when that door closes, I'm signing up. Really appreciate your time, and if you're a business, hop on this platform because it's.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's great.
And you guys are doing a fantastic job here, so thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Dustin.
Thank you.
Awesome. This is cool, buddy. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Before?
No, actually, this is my first one.
Really?
Yeah.